Hi, my name is Ala Bakhit. I teach in university. Last year, we were asked to teach from home, and Microsoft Teams became the classroom for my students as well as my children. Our understanding of blended learning was put to the test. We realized how much data can help. B12 Edu app provides the insights about what's happening in Microsoft Teams for you, whether you were a teacher, a school administrator, or a parent. In this video, we'll share with you how B12 Edu app that is integrated tightly with Microsoft Teams can bring all these insights to you. In the student profile in B12, you can see the attendance for all the classes he or she is invited to in the form of a timetable. B12 records the attendance automatically, class after class, week after week. Classes of students are colored based on the percentage of time the student attended from the overall class. Let's analyze the attendance behavior of a class or group of classes in Microsoft Teams over a month. You can also export the names of students with attendance behavior that requires attention. Finally, you can look at the daily statistics. B12 helps schools and universities in scheduling online classes and providing analytics on the conducted classes. This is a timetable for one of the teachers, and we can see that most of the classes look healthy. However, if we want to get more details about a specific class, we can see its timing and if it was recorded or not. We can also check the attendance statistics or download the attendance sheet. In this view, I'm looking at the statistics of Microsoft Teams assignments in a department of the school. I can see the number of assignments given each day and the percentage of students who turned in a submission. I can check the average response time for teachers to provide feedback and the percentage of submissions that receive the feedback. What is more interesting is that B12 Edu app is capable of notifying the school administration of missing students and teachers in the first 5 minutes of the class. Schools have been using this feature to bring participants and teachers into the class before it is too late. B12 Edu app can automatically generate personalized reports for every parent. Parents receive agendas and attendance reports for their children. B12 Edu app is one of the modules of B12 Learning Management System. B12 LMS is used by many schools that are using Microsoft Teams for their blended learning. B12 LMS is about bringing the right insights at the right time for the right stakeholder. Thank you for watching this. Please go ahead and request your free trial on b12app.com or send us on info@b12app.com.
Hi, my name is Melanie Schneider and I'm Head of Pedagogical Development at Beetle. I was a teacher for more than a decade of my life and I would have loved to work with Microsoft Teams and the additional features of Beetle. Beetle is an add-in in Microsoft Teams and enhances the functionality, so teachers can do all the daily activities online without leaving the Teams environment. This picture gives an overview of the Beetle modules, which are seamlessly integrated into Microsoft Teams. We offer a class list connected to attendance, so teachers across all teams are aware of missing students registered by other teachers or guardians. Our schools also love the diary for comments on students that can be used for learning feedback, long-term communication and parents' information. In Beetle Assessment, teachers can enter ad hoc grades or assess objectives. Our objective builder is connected to different Beetle modules, so teachers can plan, teach and assess objective-driven. Now I'm happy to introduce you to Aaron, who will take you through the Beetle Planning and the Guardian app.
Thanks, Melanie. Beetle Planning is such an amazing tool that streamlines the experience for both teachers and students to easily access all their content within Teams. Beetle creates a consistent and predictable experience for everyone across the Teams platform. In Beetle Planning, teachers can easily upload a variety of resources, edit all files, and share them with their class, making Beetle Planning the go-to spot for all class material. All of these files are conveniently saved in the Teams SharePoint. Beetle Planning now has Teams assignment integration, allowing teachers to create assignments directly in each lesson. Teachers will increase collaboration by easily sharing their entire plan with other teachers or copy the plan to a new team for next school year. I'm so excited to announce that one of the most requested features for Microsoft Teams is now here. It's an app for parents and guardians. Guardians now have the ability to view all Teams assignments and the details of these assignments within Beetle's Guardian app. Guardians will be able to see their child's submitted work and the feedback given by the teacher. Guardians will also be able to view and input attendance all within the same app. This new app invites guardians to be part of their child's learning in Teams throughout the entire school year.
Thank you, Aaron. Beetle is a global solution that is free today and used in more than 80 countries. It is easy to find us on the Teams App Store, and teachers can install it right away with the consent of their administrator. For further information, visit our webpage on beetle.co or contact us at support@beetle.co. We are thrilled to be a Microsoft partner, and as you could see, our solutions are clearly made for each other.
Hi, Dallas Kichan here from EDSB. We're a close Microsoft partner, but we're doing something very different from what you've likely been hearing about from other partners here. Yes, we have tight integration with many Microsoft technologies, including Teams, but our K-12 learning management system, EDSB, isn't available as a plugin to Teams. No, as a matter of fact, it's the other way around. We've got Teams working as a plugin to EDSB. Here's why we did this and why it's important. In the world of K-12, there's an unusually broad set of needs, very different from higher ed, very different from the business world. Most learning management systems only try to solve a few of these. Other things like report cards and attendance have been traditionally done with the student information system. Still others require their own standalone apps or point solutions. We built EDSB as a single application, a single environment a teacher would live in all day to do everything you see here. It's a single comprehensive app you might not have known was even possible. The best part, teachers never have to install plugins or add-ons themselves to make things work, or import their own student or parent data. When EDSB goes in, it's rolled out centrally by the district or province or state, and it's automatically set up for every teacher. Educators get everything they need all in one place. Many teachers find they never have to log into their SIS again for things like attendance and report cards because they can do them in EDSB's modern interface. All while using the best Microsoft technology, hosted on Azure, tight integration with M365, Teams for real-time meetings, even Power BI for amazing ways of working with student data. And it looks something like this. A teacher's EDSB desktop has his or her daily schedule and even shows where they're supposed to be hour by hour. There's a news distribution system, the classes they're teaching, school or district-wide groups they might belong to, including groups for clubs and teams or PD. None of this has to be configured by the teacher, having to fit parts together themselves. This is EDSB, out of the box. Inside classes and groups, things look a lot like Facebook, with a central feed of all latest goings-on, even student participation if the teacher allows it. Teachers can use EDSB to take class attendance and share it with the office. There's a powerful gradebook that supports all the latest emerging assessment and reporting schemes. There's even a system for collecting, tagging, and reporting visual learning evidence, and sharing it with parents and reusing it at report card time. And of course, everything works via mobile app too. Learn more about why EDSB was Microsoft's Worldwide Education Partner of the Year. Find out more about EDSB and Microsoft at edsb.com/Microsoft.
Hi, I'm Kylie Donia from the ESRI K-12 Education team, and I'd like to introduce ArcGIS and our latest collaboration with Microsoft, the new ArcGIS for Teams app. ArcGIS is mapping software. It's free for schools and connects educators and students to the world's largest collection of digital maps and spatial data about our planet. Schools can access high-quality 2D and 3D maps and data at a local and global scale that cover a wide range of topics and is great for teaching a STEM or STEAM-focused curriculum. Let's take a look at how ArcGIS and Teams now work together. I've added the ArcGIS Maps app from the Teams App Store, and in this first example, we'll add and use a simple 3D map. In the chat box for the app, I search for Schools 3D Atlas. When I select the globe, it is added to the Viewer tab. I can navigate around the map in Teams. I can select a different base map to match what I want to teach. I can also use some of the simple tools in the 3D map viewer, like the measure tool. I can search for locations that we are studying. In this case, it is Mount Vesuvius in Italy. When you are zoomed in, it's easy to see physical features in 3D. And you can use the measure tool again to dynamically look at contours and collect data, such as the height of Vesuvius. Another useful tool in the 3D map viewer is the elevation profile tool that allows us to see a profile of the volcano in the landscape and helps students better understand how the volcano was created. The second example focuses on megacities and how the results in ArcGIS for Teams can be filtered to find exactly the right piece of content. Searching for megacities returns a lot of answers, but you can click on the Refine Search button to select what type of resource you want. In this case, a story map. In the new list of results, it is easier to find the resource you want, and the Megacities story map opens in the Viewer tab. Story maps are narrative-driven collections of maps and other media that make engaging education resources and can be easily created by teachers and students. Scrolling down this story map, you can see the different media and interactive map that shows the growth of Tokyo from 1929 to a 21st century megacity. You can access thousands of resources like this through the ArcGIS for Teams app today. Our collaboration with Microsoft helps students develop their data literacy skills and improves their spatial thinking so they better understand how and where they are connected to the world. Maps and data in ArcGIS are created by some of the world's leading organizations, such as the UN, NOAA, and the USGS. Using high-quality, real-world data inspires students and makes learning more meaningful. To find out more about the ArcGIS for Schools program, visit our website or connect with us on Twitter.
Hello, my name is Ewout, and I represent Feedback Fruits. And Feedback Fruits delivers a tool basket, or you could say a fruit basket, full of different tools with which teachers can enrich Microsoft Teams. Every separate tool supports a learning activity that engages students. Think about peer feedback. Think about activating students' pre-knowledge. Think about learning activities that increase students' preparations before they come to class. The learning activities that we support will be presented by Milou within Teams. You can just download them in the store and start using them.
The Feedback Fruits tool suite consists of a large range of learning activities which support the flipped classroom method, as students can complete the learning activities in their own time and at their own pace. This allows all learners to contribute equally and to come to class prepared. I'll show you in this demonstration how you can use Feedback Fruits in Microsoft Teams. First of all, you navigate to the channel where you want to add the new activity. Then, to get an overview of all the tools, you select the Feedback Fruits logo, and then you will see an overview of all the tools that you can pick from. All of our tools have a very similar interface, so they're easy to use. For now, I would like to show you the interactive video, which is a tool that you can use to activate your students while watching a video. As a student, the video opens within Microsoft Teams, so I can see it here. I can read the instructions from the teacher, and I can see the video here. And then on the timeline of the video, the students can see the questions. In this case, I already answered some. While watching, here a new question will pop up. So I can answer the question, submit my answer. So as a student, it's also possible to start a discussion thread. So if I want to ask a question or if I want to discuss the subject with my fellow students, then I can also add a new comment. So as a teacher, at the top of the activity, you will see an overview of the student progress. You can see how many students already participated, whether they already answered the questions or not. And then if you're interested in seeing their answers to the questions, you can also navigate through the video like the students. And then here on this menu, you can see an overview of all the comments. So you can also sort on the latest activity if you want to see which comments was most recently placed. So yeah, that's also how it works for students and for teachers. Thank you for watching this demo. If you're interested in other Feedback Fruits tools, then you feel free to explore our tool suite by visiting feedbackfruits.com/Microsoft. And you can also register here for a free 1-month trial of their tools, so you can use them in your course.
My name is Usama Hanif. I'm a senior product manager at Kahoot. I'm going to show you how you can host a Kahoot without leaving Microsoft PowerPoint. I have my slide deck ready, which I'm going to use for the lesson tomorrow. All I have to do is insert a new slide and click on Kahoot icon from my add-ins. I log in with my Kahoot account. Then I find the Kahoot that I'm looking to host, click Share Kahoot, and the PowerPoint icon. The link is automatically copied. I go back to PowerPoint, paste this link, and click Add Kahoot. Now this Kahoot is ready to be played. During my presentation, I would just go through the slides as I normally would. And when I'm on this slide, all I have to do is just click Play Kahoot. From here onwards, I would just host a Kahoot as I normally would in a browser. As you can see, this is really simple and easy to use, and you can make your lessons interactive with Kahoot.
I'm going to show you how to use Microsoft Teams and Kahoot together to supercharge online learning. Setting up Kahoot into your Microsoft Teams couldn't be easier. Simply add it as a new tab, search for Kahoot, and sign on with the same Microsoft credentials that you've signed up for Teams. When you're fully installed, all your games that you've created in Kahoot will be ready for you to be able to play live with your students on a Meet Now, or to assign them to the students asynchronously so that they can learn at their own pace. Assigning a challenge game into your team allows your students to be able to learn and play at a time that suits them. And your students see a reminder as to how long they've got left to play the game. Kahoot in Teams is the teacher's dream. It's so easy for the students to get on and to play live. Simply start the game and the students will pin in the code to be able to join you to play. Here's a game I played with my students when on remote learning. And I used some of the questions just to check in on them, to see how they were doing and see how they were feeling about what they're learning. It's a good way to get a big picture of how everybody's progressing. The leaderboard adds a lot of fun and adds that dimension of challenge. And you can mix up the questions. Short, low-stake questions are a great way of building up the confidence of students online. But it's also really nice to use the slides feature to introduce new knowledge, short, bite-sized chunks of new information, and allow the students then to be able to apply that immediately into a learning context and check for understanding. Kahoot really does push that active participation in learning. And of course, everybody loves it when it's their turn to feature on the podium. And it's a great way of encouraging active participation. I hope you get the same amount of fun out of using Kahoot in your Microsoft Teams with your students as I have with mine.
Let's make learning awesome.
Hi, my name is Sam Sale, Senior Director of Solution Marketing here at PowerSchool. Welcome to ISTE 2021, and thank you so much for joining us here at the Microsoft Virtual Booth. I'm really going to focus on two key things today. First of all, I want to show you PowerSchool Unified Classroom 2021, our solution for simplifying teaching and learning for students, teachers, parents, and administrators. Also, I want to focus on all the great Microsoft integrations within Unified Classroom 2021. So let's get started. As I mentioned, Unified Classroom 2021 aims to simplify teaching and learning for students and teachers, parents, and administrators. That's core to our mission, which is to bring together unified technology to help educators and students realize their full potential. So as I log in here with my Microsoft Office 365 credentials, I not only have access to deliver instruction, I can also navigate throughout my entire PowerSchool ecosystem. I can click right into my course here, and this is where I can do things like add materials. If I'm adding an assignment, I've got access to my Microsoft OneDrive. So that way, as I create this assignment, I can add content to it that students will need in order to complete it. As students begin handing in their work, I can go directly in, see the assignment I originally created, and also because I authenticated with my O365 credentials, I have real-time access to see exactly what students handed in, which I not only can view, but I can also grade based on centrally created rubrics. I also have the ability to go in and create Teams meetings for my course. So that way, no matter where students are, I can deliver synchronous instruction using Microsoft Teams. I can also go in and create my Microsoft OneNote class notebooks. So when I do so, this allows me to set up my collaboration space where students can work together, my content library where I can publish course materials to my students, as well as visibility into my student notebooks so that I can view student progress and give positive reinforcement as they work through the content. Finally, I not only have access to assessment results for students, attendance and behavior, but I also have alerts reminding me if students have special program documentation on file. And as I go in, I have real-time access to an IEP, so I know exactly what accommodations a student needs to have. When parents go in to access these IEPs, they also have access to Microsoft Immersive Reader. So a parent not only can have the background change color, maybe a larger font size, maybe even have this read out loud, but they can also have it translated into a language of their choice. So that's a high-level overview of Unified Classroom 2021 and all the great Microsoft integration that's within. This allows teachers to do data-driven planning, deliver whole child instruction, and have intuitive, comprehensive progress monitoring tools. Thank you so much for joining us today. I invite you to learn more at www.powerschool.com/solutions/unified-classroom. Thanks again and have a great ISTE 2021.
Hi, I'm Andrew Schlesinger, co-founder and CEO of Safari Montage, and I want to tell you about our partnership with Microsoft Education. But first, I want to tell you about who we are. Safari Montage is a learning object repository that school districts in the United States use to manage all of their digital resources used in teaching and learning activities. So what does that mean? If a school district licenses a digital course from an educational publisher, they can ingest all of those digital resource links into Safari Montage. Same thing with supplemental resources or free resources on the internet from YouTube or anywhere on the web. They can be ingested into the LoRa. We provide over 10,000 educational videos in the LoRa. A district can create their own resources and put those in the LoRa. Microsoft Education is involved in all of these areas with us. Let me tell you about our largest current account, the entire state of South Carolina. South Carolina Department of Education licensed for 80+ districts their own learning object repositories and a state-level LoRa to integrate with each of those districts. All of that is housed on Azure. The LoRa Cloud on Azure has made all of this possible. In addition, when many of these districts log in, they've been provisioned and authenticated utilizing their Azure AD. And they use single sign-on from Microsoft to access Safari Montage. When they're in Safari Montage and a teacher has assigned a lesson with instructions, those instructions can be translated into over 100 languages using Immersive Reader. Or those instructions can be read aloud or adjusted for special needs students who want to see it in just the right way. In addition, when you're doing that federated search, you're also searching your Microsoft OneDrive. In addition to all of that, we've got a very good integration with Microsoft Teams that's about to get way better because we are using School Data Sync to integrate with the school district's rostering system that will bring over all of their courses, all of their classes, students, teachers, enrollments, all in one place with Safari Montage and Teams perfectly aligned. I'm really looking forward to these new integrations with Microsoft Teams. In fact, at our own company, we've used Microsoft Teams for our own communications platform since March of 2020 and love it, which is why I know in education how much Teams can do for school districts and impact teaching and learning, which is what really matters.
Hi, I'm Pat Shekel with SingleWire Software, creators of Informacast Fusion with Microsoft Teams. Informacast is a comprehensive mass notification safety system that can be used for all types of events. Many schools use it to address safety concerns. Watch this brief video overview to learn more about mass notification using Microsoft Teams.
When an incident occurs, mass notification is essential. Once everyone is notified, situation management becomes critical. The safety team needs information and a way to collaborate quickly. Together, Microsoft Teams and SingleWire Informacast handle mass notification and situation management. Initiate sending the notification in Microsoft Teams with the InformaCast bot. The InformaCast bot immediately responds with an adaptive card. Using pre-configured options, tell InformaCast what is happening. InformaCast will confirm your submission and notify everyone via Microsoft Teams, mobile phones, digital signage, and more. In the Teams channel, users can view summary responses from InformaCast and send new InformaCast messages. Manage your emergency situations with Microsoft Teams and SingleWire InformaCast, keeping your people safe and informed, everywhere, every time.
InformaCast is available in the Microsoft Teams store or from your Microsoft partner. Thank you for your time. If you'd like to learn more about InformaCast and Microsoft Teams, or to see a full live demonstration of InformaCast, please contact us at sales@singlewire.com or visit our website. Thank you.
Hello, my name is David Langridge. I'm the VP for Partnerships, Alliances and Market Development at a company called Schooler. We build a set of learning tools specifically for Microsoft Teams and Microsoft 365. So what we do is we actually then extend the capability and value of Microsoft 365 by adding things like a planning tool to build lesson plans, parent portal, attendance, assignments, enhanced assignments compared with what you get as standard out of Microsoft Teams. Let me show you how this works. If I go into our planning tool, for example, in Schooler, we're doing a lesson plan on the Vikings, 8th grade language arts for the next couple of weeks. When I click on goals, it allows me to map to the relevant state and local standards for American schools. In fact, we've got standards that map across the globe. Also, if I was then to go into the assignments routine, I want to build an assignment, very simple method of then creating a new assignment, looks very familiar to you with anyone that's using Microsoft 365, all running within Teams. We've got an Ohm's Law study 4 here. We can see how many's been collected from our students, how many's been assessed, and when if it's been returned. Plus then mapping to subjects, classes and groups, as you would expect within the system. We just brought out another tool called Loops. The Loops environment enables you to very simply build learning journeys for your students. So what you've got here is the association of nodes and hubs. So we've got a hub here specifically for this wire diary. And as you can see, we can then put in videos, which we can pull from places like YouTube. We've then got individual nodes that go and talk about other particular areas, and then multiple learning journeys and learning paths that we could then follow. It's very simple to then add content to that system. Also, there is a parent app and a web portal. So as a parent, you've then got full view on everything that your child is doing at school. If you want further information, please contact me at dl@schooler.com or go and check out our various different websites, Facebook pages, etc. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.